Yeah, you mentioned 100 billion. I mentioned the 10 billion. Those are the losses. And the Postmaster General Louis DeJoy, was on Capitol Hill last week.
So let's take a look at these numbers, right? $9.5 billion lost just in 2024 alone, right? It's mid-December, so it's pretty much, $9.5 billion for the entire year, right? I don't foresee it going up another, $500 million. And then $100 billion since 2007. Okay. So give or take 17 years. $100 billion over 17 years. Okay. Let me ask y'all one question. Now, remind you, I don't have a college degree, right? I'm just your average Joe. I got an IQ of 94? Who's counting? But yeah, I actually have an IQ of 94. Let me ask you this. Which department in the government failed its 7th audit and can't account for $21 trillion? And let me ask you, which is more important? $100 billion or 21 trillion? 100 billion? 21 trillion. Oh. Wait. Let me ask you this. How much is the Department of Defense budget? Donald Trump is getting some flack, at least from some people on the left. Well, of course, he's always getting flack from people on the left, but he made a proposal that sounds just off the wall. But this has been going on for years. You have people like Louis DeJoy that's been trying to work towards this. Then you also have, of course, the Republican Party wanting to do this as well. And so with this, I say, yeah, if you do this, you're actually going to destroy whatever support that you had, especially in regards to, you're going to lose your support from your base, essentially. Hang on. I think I accidentally, sorry guys. I had the, here it is. Okay. So let me share this with you guys. It's not good. It's not good. Not good at all. Not very good. Bad hombre. It's not very good.
Billions. Well, there is talk about the Postal Service being taken private. You do know that. Not the worst idea I've ever heard. It really isn't. It's a lot different today with between Amazon and UPS and FedEx and all the things that you didn't have. But there is talk about that. It's an idea that a lot of people have liked for a long time. We're looking at it. I think we're looking at that along with a lot of us. Billions.
Donnie, come on.
Well, there is talk about the Postal Service being taken private. You do know that. Not the worst idea I've ever heard. It really isn't. It's a lot different today with between Amazon and UPS and FedEx and all the things that you didn't have. But there is talk about that. It's an idea that a lot of people have liked for a long time. We're looking at it. I think we're looking at that along with a lot of us.
Don, this will be your Obamacare with the mandates. This will be a disaster. Disaster. Do you know how bad this would be for you? Look, all of those people who support you out in the rural areas that get their mail, packages, medications mail ordered to them. By the way, I get my medications mail ordered to me. It's not going to look good for you. What do companies do? Let's say they successfully privatized the United States Postal Service. And in privatizing it, then in order to make profits, what are they going to have to do? They're going to have to fire a lot of people. And in firing a lot of people, then many people are going to have the service to them stopped. Why? Because it's not profitable to do so. You see, here's the thing that government can do that corporations and businesses can't. Governments can operate at a loss because governments are currency issuers, not currency users. So therefore, they can create the funding in order to be able to do it. And even if you wanted to reduce the amount of inflation, then you can increase taxes on the wealthiest among us in order to keep that inflation from happening. So the government can constantly operate at a loss because it is a good and service of the people. A company can't do that because then they can't make profit. But a government doesn't need profit because it's not a business. And when it comes to common sense, when it comes to a wrestling of common sense, this person who I was talking to on Twitter, they're being pinned. And they were like, no, government is a business. They have to pay and blah, blah. I'm just like, no. When people say, I run a business and I'm going to run a government like a business, that is the worst thing because businesses have customers, governments have citizens, and citizens need goods and services, public goods and services, in order for them to be okay. You can't just do it like customers, right? So I'm going to have to do this. I hate Louis Varney, but I'm going to have to. Because I'm going to have to debunk. I hate this. This is the one part of the job that I do not like. Some of these corporate shills.
The Postal Service could be in for an overhaul. President-elect Trump is considering privatization. Jeff Flack in Philadelphia. All right, Jeff. Now, we know the Postal Service lost $100 billion since 2007. Tell me how much they lost in 2024.
Oh, you're always so concerned with money. I don't understand it. $10 billion, by the way, but who's counting, for crying out loud? Well, apparently the once and future president is counting, and Mr. Trump says he is thinking about, well, he hasn't said it publicly, but reports say he is thinking about privatizing the Postal Service. According to the Washington Post, actually, he has talked with his incoming, or at least potential incoming Commerce Secretary, Howard Lutnick, about privatizing the service and saying he doesn't think that the company or the Postal Service should be subsidized anymore. As you point out, yeah, they lost a lot of money, but hey, they've got a big mandate. Take a look at these numbers. 167 million addresses that it is mandated it must deliver to. 500,000 career employees to do that, and 31,000 properties owned or leased around the country. But it delivers 44% of all of the world's mail. Pretty impressive. Yeah, you mentioned 100 billion. I mentioned the 10 billion. Those are the losses. And the Postmaster General Louis DeJoy, was on Capitol Hill last week.
So let's take a look at these numbers, right? $9.5 billion lost just in 2024 alone, right? It's mid-December, so it's pretty much, $9.5 billion for the entire year, right? I don't foresee it going up another, $500 million. And then $100 billion since 2007. Okay. So give or take 17 years. $100 billion over 17 years. Okay. Let me ask y'all one question. Now, remind you, I don't have a college degree, right? I'm just your average Joe. I got an IQ of 94? Who's counting? But yeah, I actually have an IQ of 94. Let me ask you this. Which department in the government failed its 7th audit and can't account for $21 trillion? And let me ask you, which is more important? $100 billion or 21 trillion? 100 billion? 21 trillion. Oh. Wait. Let me ask you this. How much is the Department of Defense budget? Go on. I know you know. Mr. Varney, let's be real. Where are your priorities? Oh, it lost $100 billion over since 2007. Okay. But you know where that money went. Are you talking about the Pentagon, Louis Varney? Barney, are you talking about the Department of Defense? What did they getting? Over $800 billion a year, Louis? What you did talk about? How we're spending hundreds of billions of dollars to Ukraine, Louis? How much money did we give to Israel? See, that's the thing. Everybody and their mama is talking about, oh my gosh, we got to get rid of money for workers and their pensions. Like people like Vivek Ramaswamy is saying some smarmy corporatist BS about trying to cut workers and their pensions in the government. Then you have this BS about privatizing the United States Postal Service. And I'm just like, but wait a minute, you guys got a big old pie chart and a huge chunk of it is defense spending, but y'all don't ever want to touch that. And y'all think I'm dumb because I didn't go to college? Oh, Lord. I need an Advil. What in the hell? All right. I don't want to continue. I don't want to continue this. And by the way, take the poll. Please take the poll, because this is going to be an absolute disaster if Trump actually does this. It's going to be a disaster. Let's continue.
And he got an earful from one Republican congressman from Georgia. And, Louis DeJoy appointed, he's a Republican, by during the Trump administration. Here's the exchange. Quite amusing. Listen.
You, sir, do not get an A grade. You cannot give yourself that grade.
I just did.
You can't.
I am trying to fix
On your watch.
He's like, you can't give yourself an A grade. Louis DeJoy said, I just did. The fuck you mean? I just did. I'm Louis DeJoy. All right. I give myself an A grade. I don't care. Oh gosh! Look at this! Look! Wait!
I just did.
You can't.
Oh gosh!
I am trying to fix
On
the
your
Postal
watch.
Service.
With all the
Before
AI.
my watch, the same stuff
With
happened.
all
worse.
the AI, with all the computer systems.
You should have seen the way it happened before my watch. I fixed the services. I fixed it. I was able to get more mail than everybody else out here. And then you're getting on me about the grade. I give myself an A because I pulled us out of a disaster. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, we got good fellas running the United States Postal Service. Oh man, shave Joe Pesci's head and then have him play Louis DeJoy.
Computer systems, you're worse than if I took
You're
a
talking
horse
to yourself.
and picked up the mail and delivered it 2 miles down the road. That's you. I hope you got that on camera.
Yeah, he got it on camera, that's for sure. I would love to just do that sometimes, Mr. Varney. Sometimes even when I'm
I don't care about what Mr. Varney has to say. But that was hilarious. But let's be real with you. Like, Louis DeJoy also thinks that this should be privatized too. And Louis DeJoy is not the guy who I would basically, says the paragon of wanting to save the United States Postal Service. But at the same time, I'm just like, look, you're going to operate at a loss because people need their mail. It's a service. It's a public good, right? That's what it is. And people who think that we shouldn't have it as a public good are people who are the most privileged among us. I want to share this tweet as well, because this is deeply important for us to see. These guys are crazy. Thank you to Barbie Agitprop says, I don't think a lot of people realize how much domestic business runs on USPS. Look at this picture. Look at this, right? Domestic business runs on United States Postal Service. My gosh. And then Barbie Agitprop says, for perspective, each one of those is about $4.50, and there's about 30 in each bin. And this is a light day for the season. So all these small businesses that actually use the United States Postal Service. So now the businesses are going to be operating more at a loss, because now if the USPS is essentially privatized, then that means the prices for their parcels, for their mailing, for their shipping is going to go up. Let's take a look at this. This is a factoid that somebody added in. Oh My F Cow says USPS currently delivers 55% of the United States medications. People will die. This is not just a funny, laughing matter. This is also a serious one. You're literally going to be putting people's lives at risk because you want to privatize one of the goods and services that we have been having in this country for 240 some odd years. This is no laughing matter. Donald, if you privatize this service, you are done. You are finished. This will be your Obamacare. And trust me, but do not get it confused. I do not support either party. But I am saying this right now. If you privatize the United States Postal Service, you are dooming your own supporters to death. This is why it is so important to change this system. And no amount of tweaking is going to help it. This is why trying to go through the Democratic Party is not going to help. Because Louis DeJoy was the Postmaster General under Trump. Who kept him there? Who wants to actually privatize it? Joe Biden. He kept them under that job. He could have put somebody in who actually wants to keep the service and expand it and make it more efficient, but keep it there, right? For people. But he didn't. And now you got Trump talking about, that sounds like a good idea. It sounds like a pretty good idea. Number one, hundreds, if not thousands of UPS workers will lose their jobs. They'll probably cut within a 10-year period. I can see them cutting at least half of all the jobs, number one. Number two, they'll cut the services, especially the rural areas, because it's not profitable. Number three, people who work for the post office, pensions will get cut. Pay will get cut. Hours will get cut. Safety regulations will get cut. Right? The things that are used to make it work efficiently are going to get cut, or they're going to be allowed to age so that they do not work properly because they don't want to spend the money to keep and update the systems. Just look at some of the airlines. And so because of that, this is why it's important that I honestly do think that man, I wish we had a federal version of a ballot initiative so that we can make a federal ballot initiative. It could just be like 5 questions, right? But this is why we have to change the system fundamentally, because they're going to privatize everything in the United States. And once everything's privatized, then most people aren't going to be able to afford it. You're going to have to give away your spleen, your left lung, and your nipple just to be able to afford something. But this is why I say this is bad. Don, if you do this, this will be bad for you. And you know what? I don't want it to happen, but the accelerationist in me says, do it, Don. Go ahead. Do it. See what happens to you. And I hope something like that would actually unite the working class even more, for them to wake up and see, oh, this guy, he's not for us either. Because Donald Trump is a con man. Like, these are the same people that support these CEOs that cry because we don't care about CEOs in this country. These are the people who cry about us, that we should care about the shareholders. We don't give a damn about the shareholders because they don't give a damn about us. Thank you to Proud Socialist for this. This is from Business Insider. Panera founder says employees today aren't motivated by the idea of making money for shareholders. Nobody cares. Look at this. Look at that. Nobody cares. Maybe if y'all actually did care about us, then maybe we would care about you. But yeah, that is reciprocal, baby. Nobody cares. Nobody cares my ass. Y'all need to start actually coughing up the money instead of taking all that money and getting your dividend checks. Simple solution: make the employees the shareholders and watch society transform. I agree. Thank you so very much, Proud Socialist. And if you ever get to see this, please come on. I would love to have a conversation. But it's crazy. Like, these people are sitting here crying, talking about, we just need to care about the shareholders. The shareholders matter. Shareholders' lives matter. I cannot believe this, man. Now some of these people are wondering why Peter Thiel was sweating bullets. He was sweating more than R. Kelly in court. Because he realizing that the actual working masses do not like them. We never liked them, actually. Trying to think. I think, was there something else I was supposed to share? No. But yeah. And then on top of that, you guys got the wage stuff that I just talked about earlier. And then that Pew Research poll that came out where workers are talking about how they're fine about their job security, but they do not like the wages that they're being paid. And then there's another poll that was taken where 20% of people in the poll were saying that they had to spend $100% of their paychecks on their rent. And then another 22% were saying that they had to get a second job just to help pay their rent. And then you had another chunk of workers who were saying that they had to get monthly gifts from family members or friends in order to be able to survive and pay their rent. Monthly gifts, meaning you got $5, you got $10, you got $20, you got $100 I can have. Or they're texting your family members for money on their Cash App or Venmo or PayPal. And you want to privatize the USPS? That's your answer? To raise prices on small businesses and people who need their mail? In the words of Lucius Fox from Batman, good luck. Thank you so very much for watching my channel, and I deeply appreciate it from the top and bottom of my heart. If you wish to support the channel further, so I can keep bringing you content that is educational and informative, you can become a patron on patreon.com/Jaybefaunt. You can find that link in the pinned comment or in the description below. No matter what you give, you'll be supporting independent media and education that helps make the world better. Thank you so much, and you can watch more of my content here. Mwah. Forehead kisses, and have a beautiful day.